It's a really important point for students to recognize is that, a very, very, very small percentage of lawyers will ever argue before the Supreme Court. I think it's like,
Yeah.
I think technically it's probably like an infinitesimal amount. So you might think, well, this election law stuff has nothing to do with me, because I think a lot of our focus on what goes on in elections are the cases that get to the Supreme Court on these complex constitutional issues. And in reality, there's all different kinds of election related issues that happen all the time at the local level. So many places in the country on election day, there's a prosecutor who's assigned to deal with the things for election court, judges who their dockets cleared for election related issues. And there's a lot of different lawyers who are involved in public interest side of things, and good government groups who are there to kind of deal with things that might come up on election day. So if you're concerned about election law, if you're concerned about the integrity of our democracy, regardless of whatever your political affiliation is, don't think as a law student that like this is fanciful stuff that 5 lawyers in America are going to deal with. These are things that, like you said, they happen every day at local levels. And there's really important ways in which you as a practicing lawyer can get involved in making sure that our elections are fair. So there's definitely a space out there for law students and new, and certainly young lawyers to be able to meaningfully contribute in this area.
Yeah, absolutely. And it does, again, it touches so many other fields of law, administrative law. And to put it in the professor's words, election law is applied constitutional law. And it's the stuff that brought so many of us to law school, right? If you're concerned about our democracy, if you're concerned about our nation's, integrity and the integrity of our republic, I guess, to not put it in too lofty of terms, then this is it. This is the kind of law that you should be looking into. And really, it doesn't take, it doesn't take a super fancy Supreme Court litigator. Sometimes all it takes is somebody who has sat in that law school classroom for 3 or 4 years and comes out with the preparation necessary to enact real meaningful change. Sometimes on a micro level, sometimes on a macro level, but it really is so necessary for all of us to be aware of the role that we have as legal professionals in preserving our nation's democracy. And so it all really comes down to this. But I mean, and again, we can be pessimistic about how, our laws are in flux and our constitutional law specifically seems to be changing, but I don't know. What do you guys think? Our listeners can weigh in on this and tell us, as law students, do you feel discouraged about what's happening, or do you feel like this really is just an opportunity? Because it really is times like this when opportunity strikes, I guess, to be a good litigator, to go out there and actually, like I said before, enact change.